Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on the program Healthy Living. I'm Adesu Wasawagie. How often do you sleep? And when you sleep, do you get enough sleep? What exactly is considered enough when it comes to sleeping? Do you even know that lack of sleep can cause a lot of damage to your body and organs? I'm sure a lot of us know that, and many of us don't know. And some few, of course, know what can happen, but yet we throw cautions to the wind. But today, we're going to educate you on the need for you to sleep well and sleep properly. So, joining me to discuss this is a health practitioner here in Benin City, and her name is Marilyn Akpomera. Marilyn, how are you?
Fine, ma.
Yes, you look good.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so talk to me. What's sleep hygiene and relaxation method? Because that's what we're talking about today.
Sleep hygiene practically is just good habits, good sleeping habits,
Okay.
good habits, your behaviors and environmental factors that can help you have good sleep at night. Then relaxation technique, what can I do to achieve this good sleep?
Oh, that's fantastic. Now tell me, a lot of us, of course, know that it's good for us to sleep.
Yeah,
But because of work or maybe some other things, many people don't sleep.
sure.
Like sometimes when I engage my phone, I could just be on my phone say like 9 p.m. You're getting ready for sleep. It's okay. Let me just catch up on what's happening in the social
Exactly.
world. And then you pick up your phone and before you know what is happening, it's 5 a.m. And you're like, where did the time go? So what does not sleeping does to the body?
First of all, keeping your heart healthy is necessary from good sleep. So
Okay.
not sleeping while we sleep, our heart rate, our blood pressure slows down.
Okay.
So it helps reduce all the stress that the heart went through during the day. So giving the heart extra work at the time when you're supposed to be resting will affect it. It can cause increased blood pressure. Then your blood sugar, because while we sleep, the body converts those food into energy.
Oh,
So when you rest, it helps reduce your sugar level. Then also repair of body tissues. So your body at that point when you're relaxing, your body is trying to work on, okay, what can we do here? What can we do here? What can we do here to repair the tissues in your body? So sleeping will help. And of course, your brain cells, your brain needs enough relaxation. It helps create memory. And then it also helps with cognition. You can think properly, those critical thinking, those problem solving methods. When you have good sleep, when you wake up, it's like you're thinking well, you're able to remember things quickly. But when you deprive yourself, you are slow. It also affects our balance. It looks like you are awake. Some people during the day is like they're drowsy, they are waving, they are not able to be balanced to effectively function. So good sleep, many more.
okay. Like good sleep is good for you to sleep. About at what time should one sleep?
The way things are right now, there is a lot of changes. I know some persons that work during the night and
Okay,
they have their jobs at night.
at night.
Yeah, based on maybe time frame when we are working. But what we would say is the hours. When you choose your bedtime. You choose what works for you. But let it be at least 7, 8 hours for you to rest your body. Yes,
Seven,
the
eight
night is
hours in
important.
this hustling period.
Yeah, but you have to. Let's say 6, but 7, 8 is what we recommend medically.
Okay, so you must get that sleep, be it at night or in the morning.
Yes, you should get sleep. You should get sleep.
Like that. There are some of us that work at night. Maybe you close at 12, and then you get home, or maybe you want to sleep over at the office, and then sleeping becomes very difficult. Now, tell me, what are the techniques you think we can employ to at least catch that sleep?
Okay, so we would say first of all, have a sleep schedule. We already mentioned what works for you. Have a sleep schedule. I work by this time. Why? Because it teaches your brain to shut down at that point. Have a time you sleep by the time you wake up. So once it's already getting to that time that you have scheduled, your body begins to know that okay, this is our time. This is our time is coming up. So you have a sleep schedule. Then secondly, let sleep time be sleep time. Like you mentioned, most of us sleep time is phone time, sleep time is chatting time, sleep time. Let's
That's
sleep.
it. That's the time you have. That's the time you have time, so to speak, to do other
No,
things.
let's
Because you
sleep
be at
time.
work all morning, all afternoons, and then you get home like a married woman who needs to care for the kids and
Yeah,
all of
no.
that. After doing all those running arounds, that me time, it's not really me time because then you want to respond to messages,
Yeah,
you want to chat with one or two, you want to see what's happening on social media, you want to gossip a little
that's
bit, you
exactly.
know.
No, no, no. Just give, you can schedule 1 hour after your whole chores, working, you do that. Then you have your schedule, sleep time. Sleep time should be sleep time. Then, of course, we also advise you should not be having caffeine or anything that has nicotine hours before you're going to sleep because it's going to keep you awake. So you cannot be taking your coffee by 8 p.m. Why? So
But,
we have
but for some, that makes the body to relax.
how are you relaxing from caffeine? Well, yes, they actually say people respond to those things. Your body responds to it differently, but most of the time it keeps you awakened, and that's one of the things. So also we talk about alcohol. Alcohol is not what you're taking close to your bedtime. It's funny how people think that, oh, it will make me relax. No, it's more stimulating. So it's what we avoid close to that bedtime. Then you should also reduce your napping during the afternoon. Anyways, I don't know who's napping nowadays in this country. But I'm happy for
So
you if you have time to
people
nap.
should not nap.
So if you're napping 20-30 minutes during the day, so that at night or your time that you've put in, you can sleep adequately. And of course, your exercise more, and that's way before your sleep time. Exercises, then eat healthy. It's not by not by 9 p.m. you want to sleep. You're having 4 wraps of Santana. You're eating you're eating heavily. No. You have to eat light just before you rest, just before you take your sleep time. We already have a schedule like we talked about. So eat light before then. Then of course try and manage stress before your bedtime. Manage the stress level.
How easy is that? How can one manage stress?
Okay.
Most Nigerians are usually stressed out. We are tensed up. If you're not tensed up because of electricity, you're tensed up because of water. You don't even have water in your environment. You're tensed up because your car won't start. You're tensed up because the transportation system is not as good as it ought to be. You're tensed up about everything. Is it tomato in the market that you're not be tensed up about, or pepper?
I know.
Everybody is tensed up about one or two. What are the techniques are you going to recommend for us?
Okay, so I will start with talking about this, what we call auto-regulation. And for me, I think that that's the best. Know how you can calm yourself from within. That you have to teach yourself. You have to. So it can be visual, it can be from your mind. Some people say they do affirmations, talk to themselves every morning. So know what works for you. You have to have that auto-regulation where from within you can switch and say, I am not going to react. I am not going to get angry. I'm not going to. You have to teach yourself. Even as you get older, you have to, because
how can one do that now? How do you expect me to teach myself now how to calm down?
Exactly.
I tell you a story. Because of the field thing, most of us who live very far from our place of work, we just don't have journey. You drop your car halfway, you use transportation to complete the journey, so to speak. And then I was in the bus this morning, and a woman was like very angry. Everybody was just looking at her. She got a call, and then, oh my word, she was not talking to anybody in particular, but the woman was venting. She was angry. She was very hyper in her anger.
Yeah.
And everybody was just looking at her because nobody wanted to talk. Nobody's even saying, Madam, calm down, it's okay, it's going to be well. Everybody was just minding their business. In fact, it felt like noise to some of us.
Yeah.
But that woman was just frustrated. If you understand the language, she was speaking Benin, and she was talking. I was like, oh my word.
Okay, so
What kind of call did this woman receive? Now she was angry, So that kind of a woman, how do you tell somebody to calm down or calm oneself down when you are in that kind of a situation?
Okay, we also know that, most people might not know, but you should know what works for you. Some people is music. Some people is a conversation with someone else.
For some people, it's that shout.
But if you are going to vent, it should not be up to 2-3 hours. You're just on a stretch. And let's say something happens to you that spurs you at the moment. Try to get out of that emotion on time.
Immediately.
Because if we were to check that man's BP that period, her blood pressure would really be high. Because she's going to be where the anger is coming from. It's going to be triggering a lot in her body. So it can happen, but you switch back on time.
Okay, let's look at other things that can make one unable to sleep. Depression.
Yeah.
Anxiety.
Yeah, sure.
pressure of life can make one not to sleep. Even when you lie on your bed, that's when all of those things will now come calling.
Yeah.
And then you will be deprived of good sleep. So, and some persons would want to, at that moment, take one or two. Even
Yeah.
women do it. They just hide in their closets and do one or two and say, okay, let me get this to relax. And that will make them sleep. Is there any danger in all of that?
Of course there
When
is.
you do caffeine, when you do alcohol, when you hide to do one or two that you don't want people to know about,
Yeah, there
That's
is.
when some persons will do drugs and say, okay, this will make me
Sure,
relax.
sure. It doesn't make you relax. It doesn't. It doesn't make you relax. It only gives this initial calmness in quotes, but it doesn't make you relax, because if you begin to teach, the body is very educative. Let's put that. The body learns from you. You own it. So if you begin to teach it that this is what works for me, it will always demand more. That's even the same thing with drugs, with alcohol. You get to a point where the small rap is no longer calming you as much, because the body has worked with this. Oh, there's
And
another issue.
this is no longer working.
There's another issue. We go for more. We go for more. So what we would most of the time, what would advise is, if it's so bad, okay, you mentioned depression. Depression in itself is a mental illness, and that one requires a medical treatment. You see a psychiatrist.
That's for those who recognize.
Yes, those that actually recognize. You see a psychiatrist. You go through therapy. You give you medication.
Does that work in this country?
It does, but
Where everybody thinks that seeing a psych means that person is going
exactly.
The person is going mad.
You have to, but the only problem with it is just the money. I think that's even the major issue that makes people run from all of these things, because they feel like it's going to be expensive. But no, it works. It does work. Over time, it will work for the person.
Okay, now let's look at some ailments that may not make somebody sleep, because sometimes you hear people at night screaming, crying. They cannot cope with what they are going through. Medications cannot even help. What kind of talk do you think will help those persons?
Okay, so yeah, this is not the work of a therapist. Now, one of the things that therapy helps you do is it brings you to the point of realizing that you are empowered to solve a particular problem. Most of the time, people are overwhelmed with problem because they feel that they don't have enough resources, they don't have enough strength, they don't have enough capacity to handle problems. So let's start with energizing the person. You can handle this issue. There's really nothing so overwhelming. You can. But we also have to accept the fact that this is a problem. You can't come and tell someone that what you are going through is nothing. So this is actually a problem.
Okay, it is well.
Yeah.
It is well when that person is almost dying.
So it's a problem. We agree that what you went through could have shut you down like this, could have affected you like this. But now you have your whole life ahead of you, and you have to pick up yourself and know that you can solve the problem. And if it's something that the person would need medications for, it's getting so bad. Some persons are actually like that, and it's affecting their own families. Right? They are being erratic, they're being irrational, they are now acting, becoming paranoid.
They don't sleep, and they don't want you to sleep.
There are cases like that. They even get paranoid. It's my mother that is doing this to me, it's my brother that is causing this, and the family is now getting worried. Then, of course, come and see a psychiatrist. That is important.
Okay, you talked about irregular sleep schedule, the need for us to have regular sleep schedule. It's also told us that bedtime is not when we look at our phones and look at our laptops and all of that. Bedtime should be bedtime. You've also said caffeine and alcohol is a no-no when it's close to bedtime. But you haven't talked about environmental factor, because when you were defining good sleep, you talked about environmental factor. So how does the environment affect our sleep?
Okay, so one of the things that we ensure is, when it's getting to your sleep time, have a comfortable space that you want to rest with.
Okay.
Have a comfortable space, your bed, your mattress, then the lighting. We advise that, because there is a way lighting works with the brain that stimulates alertness, like it's time to wake up. So you dim your lights, or preferably turn off the lights. Make it an environment that will relax.
They get lights on. There's no lights.
Then, of course, a cool environment.
Okay.
The body relaxes with lower temperature. So when you are cold, that's why we advise you take your bath that time. maybe you can do some stretches if it helps you. That's if you remember. Most of the time we don't remember about these things.
Just take your bath and hit the hay.
So you take your bath, have a cool environment, maybe. Then if you have routines that you do, maybe you want to read a book, it helps you just relax. Or you have maybe something you want to just read before you sleep. Some people, but now there are things that we call sleep stories. There's the sleep story where you just plug your ears and it's a story like normal bedtime stories we have when we're children, but now it can be a moral, mature story. But there are sleep stories. You just plug your ear, it helps you shut down.
Where do we get those sleep stories?
Download it though. They actually are online. Download sleep stories.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, when all of this does not work, what kind of help do we get? The environment is not friendly. During the heat, if you open your windows, you're opening your windows maybe to thieves and all of that. You cannot unlock your doors at night. You cannot afford to do some kind of thing that will bring comfort to you. What next?
Talk to God. But okay, anyways. So, but if you can't, there's always something that will work. Most of the time, there is something that will work. Your mind is really important in all of this. Your mind has to get to that point of, I want to rest, I need to shut down, I need to rest. We will not advise medications because it's not a wise thing for you to teach your body to always need a pill to sleep. And sleep pills have some complications, side effects at the end of the day. Some persons complain about headaches during the day. Some persons complain about being drowsy. It affects their balance, affects their focus. So we not want it that on an extended time, you're on pills just to sleep. Well, we have people like that. They are just on pills to be able to sleep, but that's not work on what will work. If it's going to be a cold bath, if it's going to be a book you're reading, if it's going to be a conversation, if it's going to check what will work for you, then pray.
Then pray. Okay, before we leave now, just talk to us again on the techniques to employ when you want to sleep and sleep is not coming.
Okay, so there's actually a technique that by Dr. Will, there's a Dr. Will, a 4-7-8 technique. It's a breathing technique.
Okay. 4-7-8 technique.
4-7-8 technique.
Wow.
4 seconds for you to inhale.
Okay.
7 seconds you hold it.
That one. I'll practice that exercise later.
So 4 seconds you inhale, 7 seconds you hold it, then 8 seconds you let it out.
Wow. 4-7-8 technique.
Yes. So you can, that's one of the techniques. You breathe, you do it for about, can do it up to a minute, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Try and do it and then help. Then there's some passive muscular relaxation. Just do some, contract, relax, turn, just try and see if you can adjust any pain areas around your body. Okay. Then there's music therapy. Some people that works for them. Of course, you're not going to be playing
hard music, something classical, something sweet.
Yes, can work. Can just have that on. Can work for you. Then, if you have the money, you can do aromatherapy. There's some candles that are working now. Of course, they're not all candles. Not all of them are so healthy. But now they're trying to bring out more that are more healthy. So the scents. Some people say those scents in an environment that is just cool. Then, of course, this weather is helping. I think this weather is one weather that will help you sleep a lot. But having a cold environment. Yes, having a cold environment so you can take your bath early. And that will help you. Then we can also have, I talked about auto-regulation. Yes, you have to learn how to, you can have an imagination that you just, I tell people it works. You can just relax on the bed and think about yourself traveling to that country you've always dreamed about.
Something sweet for yourself.
Yes, think about you earning in 7 figures, 6 figures, and then things are okay. Just imagine it. And imagine yourself by the beach, chilling, happy. See, it just gives you this, I can rest. I can rest.
Okay.
Yeah, so it works.
Some of us use mattresses for like 10 years. The mattress never spoil. The mattress is still good. And then you use pillows that are already flattened. The pillow is still working. Let me pop it up a little bit, Some of us do that. So, or you hear some person actually take pride in it. You see, I gave birth to all of my children on that mattress, So, talk to us. They need to change mattresses often.
Yes. You need to change. You can already tell that you will not be having good sleep because you'll be having pains. Some of all those mattresses, they're already on the floor. Like if you're even like sleeping on the floor from the mattress, so you have to change it because it will help your body. There are even normally there are beds that are good for that are required. Even in the hospital, they'll tell you get this bed therapeutically.
Okay.
It will help your body. So I know a lot of things in the country, everything is not so cheap right now, but a good mattress will help your body because it will prevent those pains that you would be feeling when you wake up.
Like
So,
the orthopedic or semi-orthopedic
yes,
mattresses.
those orthopedic mattresses.
They are quite heavy.
That's what I'm saying, and then they're quite expensive. But yes, but those mattresses, but normal other mattresses that you know are comfortable, change. Then pillow, well, some people complain that their pillows give them pains in their neck. So if you're not a pillow person, that's fine for you. But if you sleep with pillows, get a good one so that you don't wake up with pains all over and now start taking medications for sleep pattern that you have.
All right, Marilyn. This is where I'm going to say thank you so much for finding time to be with us on the program.
Thank you.
Healthy Living. At this point, I want to believe that you've learned quite a number of things, how important sleep is to you, regardless of the pain, regardless of the stress, regardless of whatever it is that is disturbing you. You must sleep at least 7-8 hours, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, when you do that, I'm sure you will be better the next morning. All right? Don't keep late nights. It's not healthy for you. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.